Tonight, the Union Jack is flying at half-mast at Buckingham Palace as the Queen mourns the death of her husband, Prince Philip.
Also coming up, how COVID-19 changed Singapore's labour market, disrupting hiring and even the type of jobs available.
And speaking to Newsnight, actor Hossein Leong shares his excitement on returning to the stage.
I'm really excited. I think I got my songs down.
This is the Straits Times Newsnight. I'm Dylan Ang.
I'm Chao Suen. Thanks for joining us. First, we want to bring you the news that Prince Philip, husband of Queen Elizabeth, has died at the age of 99.
Buckingham Palace announced that His Royal Highness passed away peacefully on Friday morning at Windsor Castle. The Duke was married to Queen Elizabeth for more than 70 years and became the longest-serving consort in British history. He retired from royal duties in 2017 and has received treatment for several health conditions in recent years. No official details have been released yet about his funeral, but according to British media reports, it is understood he will be given a royal ceremonial funeral rather than a state funeral in line with his wishes.
Now moving on to local headlines, the COVID-19 pandemic has not only affected hiring trends here, but it has also changed the nature of jobs being offered. According to the Manpower Ministry's annual job vacancies report, in 2020, 35% involved work that could be done remotely, largely for professional, managerial, executive and technician or PMET roles.
45% were newly created rather than existing positions. 27.5% of job vacancies were unfilled for 6 months or more. One thing to note, the survey was carried out in September and November last year when the labour market was just turning the corner.
And like every other festive season this year, the upcoming festivities for Ramadan will also see some restrictions. Authorities said today that in order to mitigate the risk of COVID-19 transmission, safe management measures in the Kampong Glam area will be tightened during the month of Ramadan. Safe distancing ambassadors and enforcement officers will also be deployed in higher numbers to remind members of the public to adhere to SMMs.
And if you were out and about tonight, you might have seen this. The lights are on in Geylang Serai, marking the official start of the Hari Raya light-up.
Also launched today was an online bazaar that takes the place of the much-anticipated bazaars that were held yearly before the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, for the full duration of the fasting month, Muslim migrant workers will be able to attend congregational prayers within their dormitories. From April 13th to May 12th, dorms will be allowed to hold 2 prayer sessions of up to 200 attendees each, with the necessary safe distancing measures.
Meanwhile, the ongoing vaccination drive for the workers will continue. Vaccination hours will be extended to 10 p.m. during the month to cater to the workers who have to break their fast before getting the jab. A frequent visitor to Lucky Plaza or Peninsula Plaza, weekend entry restrictions will be lifted from tomorrow following improvements in the crowding situation at both malls. Odd-even entry restrictions based on the last digit of the identification number for each visitor will no longer be implemented. That said, the public are strongly advised to not rush to these malls immediately or to visit during peak hours.
And a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here. 26 new cases were confirmed today, all imported. There were no cases in the community or from migrant workers' dormitories. Now let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. Remember when Nike sued art collective Mischief and Lil Nas X over Satan shoes? Well, now, a week later, the two have reached a settlement. Nike says the art collective which made the shoes, which supposedly contain a drop of human blood, has agreed to issue a voluntary recall as part of a legal settlement. It said that the collective Mischief will offer full refunds to customers in order to remove the shoes from circulation. The controversial shoes were produced by the Brooklyn Collective in collaboration with rapper Lil Nas X, who held the last pair so he could choose the recipient. Mischief said it would keep the final pair of shoes.
Talk about timing. While some parents might struggle with having to remember the different birthdays of each of their kids, this footballer has been spared the problem. Barcelona forward Antoine Griezmann and his wife confirmed on social media the birth of their baby girl yesterday on the 8th of April, the same date as their two elder children who were born in 2016 and 2019. How about that for a hat-trick? Now, the Griezmann family has some way to go though if they want to match the Guinness World Record for most siblings born on the same day, currently held by the American Cummins family, whose 5 children shared the same birthday.
Oops, a rocky start to Rory McIlroy's Masters campaign made worse by a wayward shot that struck his father in the leg. The 31-year-old has got off to his worst ever start at Augusta National, a fall over par 76 as he struggled to find consistency in his swing. He had hit the elder McIlroy with his second shot at the par 4 7th hole and yelled 4 as his approach sailed to the other side of the fairway. Thankfully, no real harm was done, with the elder McIlroy joking that he should have asked for an autographed glove.
Football fans, this one's for you. Say hello to cheering on your favourite Singapore Premier League teams in the flesh once again from tomorrow, as spectators are given the green light to enter stadiums. Up to 250 fans can catch 8 games for free from tomorrow till April 23rd when they produce proof of a negative PCR or ART test or certification of having received both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine upon entry. What can you expect this weekend? Well, clashes between Balestier Khalsa and Hougang United, as well as Young Lions and Tanjong Pagar. Just 2 games to kick us off tomorrow. Game on! Now, Suan, speaking of enjoying some of our favourite things in person again, curtains are rising in theatres and applause can be heard again as the art scene in Singapore slowly returns.
Theatre veteran Hossan Leong speaks to Newsnight about how the pandemic has affected artists and performers in Singapore, and also how it feels to finally be returning to the stage again.
I tell you, the feeling, I can't describe it, because for 1 year I've been doing virtual shows, virtual stand-up comedy, and I think that killed a lot of us because it sucks the soul out of you. You know, you're talking to this little green light on this camera, no one's laughing, no feedback from the audience. A lot of, not just actors, but people in the freelance industry, musicians, all their gigs have been cancelled, production crew, all out of work. I think mental health was a big issue for a lot of people. Depression set in. I think it wasn't an easy year, and it's not going to be an easy year this year as well, because as you can see, theatre is only limited to what, 250 people? 750 if you have pre-event testing, but hello, it's costing so much money. So it doesn't make sense. So I think we have to think hard how we want the arts to bounce back.
Now, 2020 has certainly hit our performance industry hard, and I, for one, am glad to be able to watch performances in person again.
Hossan tells us more about his upcoming show at the Alliance Francaise Theatre, No Regrets, a tribute to Edith Piaf, which he describes as bringing a slice of Paris to Singapore. He spoke to us during a break in the rehearsal.
It is actually a little bit of a Parisian cabaret that we want to bring to Singapore. And I think it's great to have a live band on stage after all these months. And it's also a little bit about bringing encouragement and positivity to Singaporeans through song, through music, and through the story of Edith Piaf, because she led a really, really very difficult life, but she overcame all those hardships. And so we just want to encourage people and perhaps let her story inspire all our audiences. I am going to play I'm going to be narrating her story, as well as singing a couple of songs in between. And most of the songs are quite familiar to everyone. Some oldies, also done in English, so people will recognize those tunes. And we open on the 14th. I'm really excited. I think I got my songs down. And I'm looking forward to presenting Edith Piaf to Singapore, and so is everybody else in the rehearsal room. We're really, really excited.
So Hossan and I were talking favourite song, and as cliche as it is, we love La Vie en Rose, and I think it's a fitting song for this time as well. Dylan, you used to learn French, right? Do you think you'll go and see this show? I mean, don't worry if you've forgotten your French though, the show is in English. Yeah,
I would love to. You know, it's been years, but I really miss travelling, and a slice of Paris in Singapore sounds amazing. And yes, okay, I'll admit my Francais is beyond rusty.
Oh, did I give ourselves some credit? And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week.